What if you knew the exact date of your death? Not just an estimate or a vague prediction, but a precise moment, calculated with confidence. How would that knowledge change the way you live? Would it help you make better decisions, or would it paralyze you with fear? Today, we'll explore the complex idea of death prediction. It's a topic that touches on science, technology, philosophy, and ethics. As artificial intelligence advances, the idea of forecasting the end of a life no longer feels like distant science fiction. But are we truly ready for it? The concept of predicting death. Let's start by understanding what it actually means to predict the date of death. Human lifespan is influenced by a combination of factors: genetics, health history, lifestyle choices, environmental conditions, and sometimes, sheer luck. For centuries, death has remained one of the great uncertainties of life. But what if that uncertainty could be removed? Imagine a system that analyzes everything about your life: your DNA, your diet, how much you sleep, your mental health, even the air you breathe. With enough information and computational power, some believe it's possible to predict not just how long you'll live, but exactly when your life will end. The role of technology and data. Today, researchers are making progress toward this idea using massive datasets. In countries where electronic health records are common, scientists already use algorithms to predict health risks like heart attacks, strokes, and certain cancers. These systems rely on machine learning models trained with millions of health records. Now imagine combining this with genetic sequencing. Our DNA can reveal predispositions to diseases, aging processes, and even how our cells regenerate. Add in data from wearable technology, your heart rate, sleep cycles, activity levels, and we get a detailed picture of your physical condition, updated in real time. Artificial intelligence can process this data faster than any human ever could. It can recognize patterns invisible to doctors or scientists, estimate risks, and assign probabilities. In theory, with enough accuracy, a person's likely time of death could be predicted. But is it just about data? Or are we venturing into dangerous territory? Ethical implications. Here's where the debate intensifies. What happens when you tell someone the exact date they'll die? For some, it could be empowering. Imagine having a clear deadline, literally. You could prioritize what really matters. Quit the job that drains you. Spend more time with loved ones. Stop putting off dreams. Live intentionally, every single day. But for others, the knowledge could be a psychological burden. A ticking clock. Every decision shadowed by the looming end. Anxiety could replace freedom. Spontaneity might be lost. And what about employers? Insurance companies? Governments? Would they use this information to discriminate, deny services, or create social divisions? Let's consider a fictional scenario. Meet Sarah, a 35-year-old teacher. She learns that, based on her health and genetic data, she will likely die at 80. With this knowledge, she stops saving aggressively for a distant retirement. Instead, she chooses to travel more, take up art, and spend long afternoons with her children. Her life becomes richer, but shorter term. On the other hand, imagine Daniel, who is told he will die at 43. The anxiety consumes him. Every year closer to that number feels heavier. He questions every choice. He loses the joy of living. So the question becomes, should we know, just because we can't? Psychological and social impacts. From a psychological perspective, the awareness of death is already part of human consciousness. We know life is finite, and this awareness shapes our behavior. But knowing the exact date? That crosses a line. It would impact how we form relationships, plan careers, and raise children. Would people still get married, knowing one of them will die in exactly 12 years? Would someone still invest in long-term education if they knew they had only a decade to live? Societies might shift. Retirement could be replaced by death planning, milestones. People might celebrate last birthdays with the same importance as first ones. Rituals, laws, and traditions would evolve. And let's not forget the existential weight of such knowledge. Spiritual beliefs, religious practices, and philosophical outlooks would be challenged. How would we define a life well lived when the ending is a known variable? Could this ever become reality? So, how close are we to this becoming possible? Technologically, we're advancing quickly. Predictive models already forecast mortality risk with surprising accuracy for hospital patients and those with chronic illness. In clinical settings, doctors use these tools to make decisions about treatment plans and end-of-life care. But predicting an exact date, especially for healthy individuals, remains speculative. Human biology is incredibly complex. Sudden events like accidents or infections can shift outcomes in an instant. Even with perfect data, predicting death with certainty may remain impossible. Yet the question isn't just about accuracy. It's about intent. Do we want to use our growing technological power to measure the most sacred aspect of life, its end? A different perspective. Perhaps the real value lies not in knowing the date of death, but in knowing how to live before it comes. Instead of trying to predict our final day, what if we used data and technology to improve the quality of each one? We can already monitor our health, reduce risks, and make informed choices. Maybe that's enough. Maybe the mystery of death is what gives life its beauty. Because if we knew the end, would we still be surprised by the middle? The desire to control time, to map out life perfectly, may be less important than learning how to be present, to make every moment count, regardless of when the last one comes. So, what if we could predict the exact date of our death? It's a question that forces us to confront our values, our fears, and our purpose. While science may continue advancing, some mysteries might be best left unsolved. Would you want to know your death date? Or would you choose to let life unfold, one uncertain day at a time? Let us know in the comments below. And if this topic resonated with you, subscribe for more thoughtful explorations like this one. Thanks for watching, and remember, the future may be uncertain, but how we live today is entirely in our hands.